What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. So this is Love and Marriage Huntsville season 2, episode 13. Listen, we open up this episode with Martell and his uncle Dexter. They down to the suit shop because Martell like, listen, I need some new suits because this COVID-20 done got me. Now, I can say a lot of things about Martell, and I will before this episode is over. But one thing I won't say is that Martell is not a beautiful specimen, okay? You say you got that COVID-20. Where'd it go, Martell? Where is the COVID-20, Martell? I don't see it. I don't know where it is, okay? But Uncle Dexter. Where Uncle Dexter been? Uncle Dexter is a cutie. He took that mask off. I said, hey, Uncle Dexter, how you doing? Hey, boo. But anyway. So the conversation went a little bit like this. So they talking about the divorce. They talking about everything going on. Martell then shares with Uncle Dexter about the deal falling through with the acres. He's saying how it's not looking good, because they said that it's just not a good look for everything that's going on with me and Mel and everything that's out there. Uncle Dexter was like, but y'all ain't the first couple to get a divorce. He was like, I know, but Mel put all our business out there. Mel put all it out there. Mel put it all out there. Martell, once again, I need you to understand. It's not the fact that there was a divorce. It's not even the fact that you cheated on her, because there are a whole lot of people. There's a whole lot of people who cheat and have wonderful lives. Hell, look at Donald Trump. I mean, he became president of the United States with 2 ex-wives, whatever. And he cheated on all of them. That's not the issue. The issue is you, Martell, and I need you to understand that. I need you to see that the issue is you and how you've handled this and how you have chosen to treat the situation. Yes, Melody brought this to us first, and I agree with you 100% that Melody put y'all's business out here first. I agree. But it's not that you had an affair. It's not that y'all are going through a divorce. It is the fact that you have continued to try to make excuses for your bad behavior. It is the fact that you have continued in the bad behavior. It is the fact that you have lied, even though the proof is right in your face. You have lied. That is probably the stuff that people don't want to do business with, or they question your integrity. Because see, if you lie, you steal, and if you steal, you kill. That's what I was always taught. And so it is not about you. It is the integrity of who you are and your character. Not because you cheated on your wife. Nobody care about you cheating on your damn wife. Not in a business sense. I promise you that ain't it. It is you and your character. Anyway, I'm done. Well, I'm done for now because we're going to get back to Martell at the end of this episode. But then we see Maurice talking to Jalen. Now, last week, I was Maurice. Last week, I was kind of giving it to you a little bit because I felt like people who are entrepreneurs have a certain mindset about 9 to 5s. Because that's not in their makeup. Because that's not who they are. Most people who are entrepreneurs have been entrepreneurs their whole life. Like Maurice said in this conversation with Jalen, he said, listen, I've been a hustler my whole life. I have been an entrepreneur my whole life. I have had that entrepreneur mindset my whole life. When I graduated from college, I took the last bit of my refund check and I bought a house with it. He said, I bought a house for $1,000. Now, y'all can only imagine what that house looked like that he bought for $1,000, right? But he had it in his mind, okay, I got my college degree. Now it's time for me to start hustling. And I'm not going to hustle backwards. And so what he was saying to Jalen was, I mean, they went back and forth for a minute. But ultimately, what he was saying to Jalen was, I'm not telling you don't have a 9 to 5 job. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that when you get done with your 9 to 5 job, then you continue to hustle in what it is you're trying to do. Now, you telling me that you want to get into what I went into. And I'm just telling you what I did because of the mindset that I had. That doesn't mean I never had a 9 to 5. It just means that this was my mindset. Now, Jalen was talking about, well, what's up with your brother Marcel? I asked him, and, nothing ever came from it, and Maurice was like, Marcel was busy. He got a lot going on. He said, but I tell you what, instead of waiting for Marcel to come to you, why don't you just go down there and hang out? Why don't you go down there and see where you can help? Why don't you go down there and say, Marcel, can I just shadow you for a little while? I know you're busy. You don't even have to talk to me. Let me just observe. Let me see what it is you're doing. And then maybe when you have a few minutes, we can sit down and I can talk about what I saw. And you can tell me what I saw. And you can explain to me what I was looking at. You know, he said, well, I'm waiting for me and my mom. Me and my mom, we're going to get some stuff done. But your mom is on the front lines right now. She don't have time to dibble and dabble right now because really is doing all that she can with COVID. And I'm sure that when she's not working, all she wants to do is put her feet up. I don't think a lot of people understand it's not just physically draining on the frontline workers who are dealing with COVID. It is emotionally draining. You are literally watching people die all day long. You're watching people that you just cannot help. Whatever level you are when it comes to being on the front line. So Maurice was really trying to get Jalen to understand, I ain't telling you not to work a job. I get it that you need to work a job. He said, but your mother gave you a blessing. Most people, he said, Barack Obama was still paying off student loans when he became president of the United States. Like, I need you to let that sink in, that your mother allowed you to graduate from college debt-free. You have a clean slate. Most of us, and I put myself in that category, who's still paying student loans, most of us don't have that. So take it as the gift that it is and move it forward and figure out the next step. I feel like I've been getting on this for a minute, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't mean to harp on it, but I felt like it was a great conversation. And I felt like Jalen didn't hear him because then Maurice said something about you not paying rent. And that's part of why you're not paying rent is because he said, now if you just going to go out here and work a 9 to 5, you can start paying rent. And Jalen didn't understand what Maurice was saying. He says, well, I'm going to be moving out soon anyway. He was like, no, like you missing the point, sir. Why are you creating debt? What are you doing? Like, I'm giving you the opportunity to not have to worry about bills so you can pursue your dreams without having to worry about paying rent. Like, bruh. Jalen's a good kid. He's going to figure it out. He's got great mentors around him and a great support system around him. He's going to figure it out. But I thought that was a really good conversation, especially following up from last week because I sort of walked away with a different mindset, Maurice. So I'm glad to see that conversation and see y'all kind of figure it out. All right, the Holtz. Listen. Melody shows up to the office so her and Martell can figure out how they're going to divide up their assets. Now, I don't know if this was something that the court ordered. Usually this is something, well, let me not say that because I don't know because I ain't never been through no divorce and I damn sure ain't never had to split up no assets with nobody. So let me not say what usually happens because shit, I don't know. But Melody shows up on some business. Like Melody is like, all right, let's get this started. And Martell wants to have a conversation and he wants to revisit what happened last week. And Melody was like, you said you came to see your kids last week. You didn't say you came to talk business. Well, I mean, I wanted to talk business too. I mean, I did come to see my kids, but I also wanted to talk business. She was like, well, see, that ain't what you said. You said you came to see your kids. And Martell, that's what you said. You ain't say nothing about no handling no business. You wanted to talk about Melody, and you wanted to embarrass her and talk about her having an affair. That is what you wanted to do. They get to talking about how they're going to split up these assets. So they get to embrace. Martell says, listen, I don't think it's fair that you want 100% of Embrace. I don't think it's fair that you get 100% of Embrace because I helped you launch Embrace. I agree with Martell. If y'all were married when you started that company, it's part of y'all's marriage, just like the property, just like everything else. It's a part of y'all. So let him buy you out. If he's an investor, let him buy you out. What did he invest? Whether it was in blood, sweat, and tears, or whether it was in financial. Let him buy you out. Then he starts talking about how he never hurt her. And she immediately is giving him that look like, really? He was like, I mean business-wise. You got to trust me business-wise. I know that on a personal level, you feel like I hurt you. Then he starts talking about, then he goes back to that whole, but I came home every night. I came to see you every night. I was with you every night. I was home every night. She was like, okay, so you were a good cheater. Like, you get kudo points for being good at cheating? Well, I mean, you was better at it than I was because I never caught you. She was like, sir, I never cheated on you. Y'all, this what Martell talking about. All this time that Martell been talking about Melody cheating, this what he's talking about. When Melody left Martell, she started dating somebody. She was like, first of all, I never had any intention of going back to Martell. So in my mind, we were separated. I could do whatever the hell I wanted to do. Number two, Martell tried to insinuate that me and this man was having sex, and we weren't. We were dating. I wasn't sleeping with him. And at the end of the day, Melody, if you were sleeping with him, that's your business. I don't care. That is your business. If you were sleeping with that man, you do whatever you want to do. Okay? Especially since your husband was running all over town with his whole thing going on. And number three, you talking about, that's what you've been talking about this whole time, about Melody cheating on you? That's what we've been talking about? Boy, bye. That is in no way a comparison. If y'all were separated and she dated somebody else, whether she was sleeping with that person or not, y'all were dating, you were dating somebody else, y'all were separated. Sir, you had a whole 5-year affair while you was living with your wife, and she thought y'all was in a monogamous marriage. Sir, there is no comparison. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Martell be playing games. So then, of course, it turned into an argument. Melody got up and walked away. Martell chased her outside, talking about, what about the money you took out the account? Let's go through the money you took out the account. Let's talk about the money you took out the account. Now, I remember reading about that, this summer, that allegedly Melody took money out of the account. Now, Melody said it was money she needed to take care of the kids. So, if Melody said it, I'm going to believe it at this point, damn it. If Melody said that she needed that money to take care of the kids, I believe Melody. I don't give a damn if she went to Louis Vuitton and had a damn shopping spree. If she said that she needed that money to take care of the kids, I'm going to believe Melody. Okay? Now, that don't mean Melody telling the truth about everything. That just means that right now, in this situation, I believe Melody. Now, Destiny and Letitia. Letitia goes down to Destiny's shop. Destiny's there working with the baby. He's a cutie. Little chocolate drop. He's a cutie patootie. Now, are we to assume that Destiny's husband has not agreed to film this season? Because we are in episode 4, and he's been talked about, but we ain't seen him. Other than that first scene where Maurice had his town hall meeting situation, and he was there. But that's LeBerick. We ain't seen LeBerick, but listen, LeBerick busy. He said, listen, I got things to do. I got chicken to fry. That's I should have said that. Okay. LeBerick busy. So, Letitia is talking to Destiny about her and Kimmy working their issues out. Destiny's talking to Letitia about her and Melody working her issues out. Now, I found it real funny, Letitia, that when you was talking to Destiny about her and Kimmy, life is too short. If nothing has taught us about this pandemic is that we gotta, life is short and we have to love one another and we have to be kind and we have to support one another. But when the situation flipped around to Melody, girl, you was like, no, I can't do Melody. She came for my business. She just said y'all got the same logo. She did. Let's be clear. Melody did. Melody was mean to you last season, Letitia. She absolutely was. She was mean to you last season. Now this whole Kimmy Destiny thing, y'all, let's just let it go. Like, let's just move on. Listen. Kimmy Mariah carried Destiny with the I don't know her. Y'all know each other now. Let's just move on. So Letitia invited Destiny to come on her mommy podcast because she's a working mom, supporting black businesses. And hey, let's invite Kimmy because, she's got a son graduating from college. She's got a perspective, as far as coming from, a mom going into college. Son coming out of college and into a pandemic. So she's got a perspective. Okay, cool. The Scotts, and of course, Destiny was like, okay, cool, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So the Scotts are working on the floor plans of their house. They arguing over a playroom or not a playroom. Martell was like, listen, this is our forever home. We don't need to be building a playroom and the kids is grown. By the time this house is gonna be built, the kids are not gonna need a playroom. Maybe they'll need a room, my thing is this, I feel like Letitia was saying, she was like, listen, you ain't with them all day. They need a place of their own. I feel like a playroom might not be the best word. I feel like maybe it could be like the children's area, the children's wing. Because, yes, even as they get older, they're going to need a place. The playroom becomes the hangout. the area where you put the TV with the game consoles and the desk for them to do their homework on, and so it becomes a different staging area. So playroom might not be the best word for it, but Marcel, y'all, your kids need somewhere to go, bruh. Okay. Anyway, so while they're bickering over this, with the architect who's Marcel's uncle, I love how they keep stuff in the family. I ain't mad about it at all. Chris comes by. Remember, Chris last week was the guy that was talking to Martell. He comes by to let Marcel know, listen, we got some out of town investors. They're going to be building this situation. I wanted to talk to you about putting a bid in for it, and this, and this. And this is what I love about Marcel. Marcel was like, okay, so what's the catch? Because clearly there's more to this story that you ain't telling me. What's the catch, bruh? He said, well, it's the 47 acres. Marcel was like, here we go with this day of 47 acres again. He said, but, in fairness, Martell actually was the one that wanted me to come and talk to you so that you could put a bid on it. And Marcel was like, I tell you what, he said, I honestly would love to be a part of this, project, So let me, send me over the information. Let me look through it, and we won't figure it out. So he talks to Letitia, and Letitia don't want to have nothing to do with anything dealing with the host. She's like, I don't like it. I don't want to do it. Marcel was like, fine, and I'll do it by myself. Like, this is a great opportunity. Like, this is a major, major deal for me, or for us as a company. And so I don't know about turning it down. But the uncle was like, well, these are out of town investors. These are not the hosts. These don't have nothing to do with the hosts. Do your research, find out who these people are, and then, make your decision accordingly. I feel like that's a good compromise. All right. Jalen is having a graduation celebration, and I can appreciate what Kimmy said. Kimmy said, listen, because of COVID, we have done a few celebrations. This is the celebration that we're sharing for the show. She said business partners, but this is celebration for the show, okay? Meaning we already did this with our real family and friends. We already did this with our people, his people. This for y'all. Okay. So, Kimmy did reach out to Melody and ask Melody, would it be okay to invite you and Martell? And Melody was like, listen, I can be in the same room with Martell. Like, that ain't no problem. We can do it. We can make it happen. Then she invited Destiny, again, as an olive branch, so they could just move forward in their situationship they got going on. Letitia and Marcel shows up. The only person that ain't there is Jalen. Melody showed up looking good. Let me tell you something. Melody, you look good. And you seem to have an issue when Marcel said you was glowing, but bitch, you were. Take the compliment for what it was. Melody, you was giving the people something they could feel. And you knew you were. You was like, what I'm not going to do is show up for the first time for this group meeting looking busted and disgusted. I'm going to put on my good hair, and I'm going to put on this good bustier bra and push the girls up, and I'm going to have on this good mini skirt and these heels. Girl, you knew what you was doing. Take the compliment, Melody. Take the compliment. So Letitia, they get to talking about the podcast. Letitia wants to invite Kimmy. Kimmy's still throwing shots at Destiny. Destiny is like, girl, I'm here for it, and all of the above. So then Destiny says, well, Melody, would you want to do it? Melody was like, listen, I am here to wish Jalen happy graduation, drop off a gift card down to the Amazon, give me a piece of cake, and go the hell home. That is what I am here for. I am not here to talk to nobody, to make no amends, to have no kumbaya moments. I don't want to be on your podcast. Been there and done that. Okay, we done the podcast 2 seasons ago. I'm good. I'm good. So Jalen finally does show up, child. And who else comes walking through the door? Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda wasn't invited. Kimmy invites Miss Wanda, because Marcel ain't do it. Letitia invited Marcel. Kimmy was clearly surprised that Marcel was there. I keep getting the names wrong. Kimmy was clearly surprised that Miss Wanda was there. And she made a comment about, oh, Miss Wanda, good to see you, Miss Wanda. I'm sure that you found out about it through um, Letitia and Marcel. And so, of course, Letitia gets offended by that. And she said something to Kimmy later about Kimmy was rude. You know, why did you have to say it like that? You made it seem like she wasn't invited. And Kimmy was like, but she wasn't. She wasn't. Well, I mean, um, you didn't have to say it like that. You made it seem like she wasn't wanted here. And Kimmy was like, but I'm not, like, I started off by saying, like, I'm glad you're here, but I'm gonna let you know. And this is what I'm gonna say about this. There are two reasons why you was wrong, Letitia. Reason number one, during COVID, you don't do plus ones in COVID because a lot of times you already have a limit of how many people can be in a space. That's number one. You already knew it was a party type situation. So Kimmy may have already been at her limit for that restaurant. You don't know that. That's number one. Number two, it is rude to invite somebody to someone else's party without telling them you invited somebody to someone else's party. Listen, I have been guilty in the past and I had to check myself and be like, you know what, I really should have called you and I apologize because I didn't think it would be a problem bringing her, but clearly it was, and I apologize. That's my bad. And I learned and I didn't do it again. Letitia, you need to stop acting like everybody wants your mama around. She's your mama. She is nobody else's mama but yours. Kimmy don't have to have her around. Hell, Marcel don't even have to have her around. Jalen don't have to, like, nobody has to have your mama around but you. She's your mama. You need to get that through your head, Letitia, and stop acting like somebody owe you and your mama something, and stop acting like it's supposed to be cool that your mama is there. No. Anyway, so Melody is ready to leave when she see Miss Wanda show up already. Then Martell gets there, and then she really is like, all right, I gotta go. Okay, I was here, I came, I saw, I conquered. Let me get the hell up out of here, because ain't nobody trying to do this with Martell. So, so as Melody gets up to leave, Miss Wanda follows behind her because she wants to talk to Melody. Destiny goes with Melody. I guess she's just gonna walk Melody to the car or whatever. And Destiny was like, Miss Wanda's trying to talk to Melody, and she's basically saying, listen, girl, I know you leaving because Martell showed up, but listen, you look good, you hold your head up high, and, you know, you deserve better than that. You gonna find you a good man because that's what you deserve, right? Like, really just going through all of the emotions or whatever with that. And Melody was like, Melody was trying to be polite, but at the same time, sort of like still walking, like, thank you, Miss Wanda. Thank you, Miss Wanda. I just want to leave, Miss Wanda. I'm just ready to go, Miss Wanda. I just want to go. And Destiny is like, okay, Miss Wanda, thank you. Now, while this is going on, Martell caught part of what Miss Wanda said as she was walking off, basically like, I know you left because Martell here. So Martell decides that he gonna get up, and now he has something to say to Miss Wanda. Now, obviously, Miss Wanda was down on her live, once again, running her mouth. Now, we know that she done said some things in the past on her live that wasn't good, that didn't turn out too good for the rest of the group. So, it seems like she did it once again, that she done said some things that weren't good. And allegedly, because I didn't hear it, I'm sure it's all over social media if I look for it, but allegedly, she said some things about the kids. Now, Martell was the one that was upset by it. I don't know if Miss Wanda said it or not. So Melody ends up walking off while her and Martell get to arguing. Martell is fussing at her, talking about something. What you say about my kids? What you say about my kids? What you say about my kids? Yeah, you don't be on your lives talking about my kids. Why are you on your lives talking about my kids? You on your lives talking about my kids? And they were like, I'm not on. Miss Wanda was like, I didn't say nothing about your kids. I was talking about you. I wasn't talking about your kids. I was talking about you. Now, while all this is going on in the parking lot, so they don't really hear everything know what's going on, but they start hearing what's going on. So Letitia gets up, and Marcel gets up to go figure out what's going on with his mom-in-law and with her mother. So Marcel starts talking. So she says, Marcel, you acting like a real B right now. Marcel, you acting like a real B right now. This was the part that did it for me. He says, well, you are a B. And Destiny was like, Martell, you can't do that. Martell, you have to stop. You can't call her that. Martell, you can't do that. Martell, you went too far. You don't call that woman's mama a bitch. Now, she did say you was acting like a B. But you told her she was a B. That's a difference. I know that's playing with words, but it is a difference. So Destiny pulls Martell off to the side and she tries to tell him, listen, you were wrong. You can't let people get to you like that. Like, you can't be talking to people like that. You can't let them get to you like that. And so he was like, well, I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of this. And she said to him, you have to start taking accountability for your actions. Stop making excuses. Stop that tit for tat. He said something, and she was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you keep doing this tit for tat. Stop worrying about what other people are doing and take responsibility for what you are doing. Stop that. Anyway, that's kind of where the episode is. Like I said, I know I went off on this. This one had a lot going on with y'all. So I know I sort of went left a few times, but y'all was with me. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.